see a lot
Yeah.
of people hesitant to retire early because it's, oh, I still have got kids in college, then grad school, and on top of that, healthcare, and what if we live till we're 100? Beyond running the financial projections to make sure that you're in a good spot, what what would you say to someone who's hesitant to retire early because they go, well, I still have got children and there's going to be college and who knows about all the other expenses? Any insight there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just depends. I guess it depends how much you saved and all those things. But, obviously, I think everybody wants to help their kids. And even today, you think of like stuff you hear about in the news, like housing prices. It's hard. It's hard starting out. I think there's probably some validity to that. But at the same time, you can't do everything for your kids. I mean, you can give them some help, but you want them to be resilient people. You don't want them to be overly dependent on their parents. So I would say like you want to be there to help, and maybe you can strategically help in certain places. But at some point, I mean, they gotta figure it out, and that's what I had to do. I mean, my parents definitely helped me, but they didn't. I wasn't, getting money from them after I graduated college, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no monthly stipend there.
No, no, not at all,
My
not at
parents
all.
were the
So,
same way.
yeah.
Okay, let me ask. I'm fascinated. When it comes to having that financial brain, what I see a lot of is people who are really intelligent. They are always running the scenarios, the Monte Carlos. They're going, oh my gosh, analysis paralysis. Sometimes you've got not just one smart financial brain. It sounds like maybe two. Is your wife equally involved in the planning process? Does she go, hey Bob, I'm going to let you run that. I trust you. How do you guys manage finances?
Well, one thing we do talk about a lot is how we want to spend our money. So, and that's, to me, that's what it all starts with that. Like, how much, what, like, it's not so much the amount, it's like how, and like what really, do you see yourself doing in retirement and making sure you can afford those things. So, we definitely talk about that a lot. When it comes to projections and things, I've definitely done some of that. Like, obviously, used to be, years ago, you have a bad day at work. What do? You run your projections. Like it's just like it's almost therapeutic. What's gonna say. You know what's gonna say. It's not gonna tell you anything new. But I've kind of passed that. Like I think once you get a certain point, like I mean, I didn't grow up with a lot of money. I'm not too worried about like running out of money or anything like that. If, in the worst scenario, if we did do something to alter our spending, which I don't foresee, it is what it is. But like honestly, once I probably worked a little longer than I should have, in some ways, so I really didn't have the problem of like, can I go? Is it the right time? Financially is more like, okay, when's the right time just to give up work and, let it go.
Was it difficult to go to your boss or coworkers at the time and say, "Hey, I'm doing it"?
Yeah, it was a little weird because I was a little on the younger side. But one thing that really influenced me at the company I worked at was it's not this simple, but there were people like me who were like, hey, I want to retire when I can and just move on to other things. And there was others that, I mean, literally, they put so much of their identity in their job that they struggled to like they didn't want to leave. I mean, there was people that like some jobs you had to retire at 65. They worked to the last day. So I was always just floored. Like, and I would tell people at the company that I'm like, these people want to stay to 60. I'm not doing that. Like all along, I was always pretty honest about like, I'm not going to be here to 65. I'm just telling you right now. So it wasn't it wasn't
You
a
went
huge
and told
shock.
them, and they're like, "Why was
Like,
it? Why you wait so long?"
yeah, so it wasn't a big shocker in some ways, but again, I worked with great people and treated me extremely well. So I was probably lucky because it's corporate world's tough to navigate. I know have a lot of friends. I got lucky, I think. I mean, I had a lot of friends who got laid off, later in career, and it's hard to recover from that. And so I was pretty fortunate.
Yeah, that is difficult, but it sounds like you were not struggling to actually go do it, which I hear a
No,
lot of. I hear a lot of, like, I don't want to tell them I'm retiring early at 53 or 54 or whatever age because I know they're nowhere close to it. I don't want to make them feel bad, but then again, I do want to put myself first. So it's actually, it's nice to hear you went, yeah, no, I'm doing what I want to do.
I, and one thing I always tell people too, when they ask me like, "Wow, you retired early?" I always say like, "Well, if you like your job and you're happy, and again, I like my job, but it's a lot. It was really a lot, and I kind of was getting burned out. But if you like your job and maybe it's something you can do, and still it doesn't prevent you from doing other things you want to do, so to speak, keep doing it. Like that, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not a contest. I mean, if I was in a job I loved and it was 40 hours a week, I'd probably still be working. You know, like
That's
so.
that's a great outlook. I talk about the recreational employment phase. I actually hate the word retirement. Retirement to me sometimes
Yeah,
feels like, oh, is it ending or like am I just done? No. Recreational employment, are you working because you want to or because you have to? And if you like doing it, like to your point, keep doing it.
yeah.